Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to our online channel. You are watching Fursat Online Academy. Actually, we are very excited for you joining us. Today, we will introduce here a very useful topic. So let us see. As you see our first slide, the title immunization. Immunization is our topic of today. So if you ask yourself why we are learning immunization, immunization saves life. So the highest advantage everyone prefer to get or have is saving life. So saving life is the highest advantage. That means immunization is important. So we will see together in details. As you see this session outline, introduction, types of immunization, why immunization, how is vaccine, how vaccine work, types of vaccines, benefits of vaccination, and recommendation. This is the we will focus or discuss in details. So let us see our next slide. First of all, introduction to immunization. As you know, immunization through vaccine is one of the safest and the most cost-effective public health strategies of promoting health, preventing and eradicating certain diseases. Vaccine prevents an estimated 2.5 million deaths each year. So as you know, immunization through vaccine is one of the safest means not causing harm and most cost-effective public health strategies. It's the effective public health strategies of promoting health. As you know, public health always focus on preventing disease, promoting life, promoting health. So it's one of the effective public health strategies. Look, disease prevention is the key to public health. Disease prevention is the key to public health. Disease prevention through immunization. Always public health says prevention better than cure. So as you see, public health focus on promoting health, preventing disease, prolonging life. So this immunization is the best way to do that. Other hand, promoting health, preventing and eradicating certain disease. You see this one, vaccine prevents estimated each year 2.5 million deaths. So you see the advantages of immunization. You see when we talk about like these words, eradication and elimination, it's the difference actually. So we will classify clearly each one. You see, when we talk about eradication and elimination, it's different actually. For example, elimination, like when disease stops circulating in a region, it's considered eliminated in that region. For example, polio was eliminated in the United States in 1976 after widespread of vaccination effort. That is elimination or eliminated. What about eradication or eradicate? Eradicate is wider than eliminate. If a particular disease is eliminated worldwide, it is considered eradication or eradicate. Until now, one of the only one infectious disease has eradicated in the world 1980 after decades of efforts. So that means elimination and eradication is different. Eradication is wider than elimination. Elimination consider like a geographical area. When disease stops transmission geographical area, specific geographical area. That time we use the word elimination or eliminate. But when we talk about worldwide, we use eradicate or eradication. That's the difference between elimination and eradication. I hope you understand well. Our next slide, definition of terms. We will like this: immunity, immunization, vaccine, vaccination. So first slide, one is immunity. What's immunity? Immunity is the ability of the body to recognize and defend itself against the specific pathogens or antigens. Immunity is the ability of the body to recognize and defend itself against the specific pathogens or antigens. What about immunization? Immunization is the process or method whereby a person is made immune. How the method or manner person made immune or resistant to an infectious disease, typically by administration of vaccine. So what's vaccine? What's vaccine? Vaccine is a biological preparation. Biological preparation intended to produce immunity. This vaccine or biological preparation, on the other hand, is intended to produce immunity or ability to a particular disease by stimulating or arouse the production of antibodies. Antibodies is the highest immune response. So also vaccination is the act of introducing a vaccine into the body to produce immunity to a specific disease. So vaccine derived from living organisms, preparation from living organisms and their product. So this is different actually and connect each other. Immunity, immunization. Immunity is the ability of the body. Immunization is the process how a person makes immune. Vaccination is the preparation or biological preparation derived from living organisms. Vaccination is introducing, act of introducing or administration a vaccine, act of introducing living organism like organisms to the body. Why? To produce immunity to a specific disease. Well, types of immunization. Active immunization. What is active immunization? The production of antibodies against the specific disease. That means the individual has responded to an antigen and produced his own antibodies. Production of antibodies against specific disease. When we talk about active immunization, occurs production of antibodies, antibody production against a specific disease. That means an individual, personal, has responded, answered to an antigen and produced his own antibodies. Individual has responded and produced his own antibodies, not from us. Okay. When we talk about active immunization, killer or life attenuated organisms are injected in an individual or person, which induce an immune response. So that means killer or life attenuated organism, killed already inactivated or life attenuated, lose ability, become inactive, lose ability to cause disease, or weak. So weak. Life attenuated means weak organism, become weak. Organisms can be bacteria or virus, are injected, which induce. The purpose is to induce immune response, not cause disease. When we talk about active immunization, it's a long-term defense, but takes several weeks to become active. But passive immunization is different. Passive immunization is a short-term defense and takes short time to become active. But it's a temporary, it's not long-term defense. Well, we talk about passive immunization. Passive immunization. Passive immunization is a protection against disease through antibodies produced by another person, another human being or animal. That means this antibody produced by another human being or animal. It's not like active immunization. It's not individual responded to antigen and produce his own antibody. That's the difference between active immunization and passive immunization. Instead of active immunization, passive immunization produce another antibodies, produced by another human being or animal. Provides protection against some infections, but this infection or protection is temporary. It's not long-term defense, only weeks or months. For example, transfer of maternal antibodies, colostrum, across the placenta. You see, colostrum always is a first secretion from the mammary gland after giving birth. Rich in antibodies actually. So this is secretion of first milk from the mammary gland after mother's giving birth. So this colostrum is rich in antibodies. It's a passive immunization. It's a short-term defense, weeks or months. But already is a immunity or immunization. Types of immunization: active immunization and passive immunization. Active immunization, individuals responded and produced his own antibodies. But passive immunization, antibodies derived from another human being or animal. You see, these antibodies derived from this human being and transferred to this person. But these antibodies are directly come to the individual. That means that this person directly responded and produced his own antibodies. Why immunization? Immunization is a key strategy to child survival. Protecting infant from disease. Also, the other way immunization is lowering morbidity and mortality rates in the children. Indicators of a strong primary health care system. This like when we talk about long indicator of strong primary health care system is always consider when we talk about if we have vaccine coverage is good. If vaccine coverage is good, that means we have a strong primary health care system. Also, immunization is the key strategy to child survival because the child gives or obtain immunity against diseases, specific disease. Also protecting infant from disease. So, how is vaccine? Vaccine typically contains agent that resembles a disease-causing organism and is often made from weakened or killed form of the microbe. The microbe become weak or killed form. The microbe can be bacteria or virus. So vaccine always typically contains agent, microbe, bacteria or virus that resembles disease-causing organism. But you know, this microbe become weak or killed by chemicals or heat or radiation. The purpose is to get antibodies or to get immune response, production of immune response, antibodies. That agent stimulates or arouses the body's immune system. The purpose is this stimulation by the immune system to recognize the agent or to recognize bacteria or virus as a foreign and harmful, so keep a record. If agent bacteria or virus enters the body, immune system recognizes as a foreign agent, as a foreign, so the body keeps a record of it so that the immune system can easily destroy any of these microorganisms that is later encounters. If it comes back a second time, immune system can easily recognize and destroy easily. Well, how vaccine works? Vaccines teach your body how to defend itself when germs such as virus or bacteria infect it. Vaccines expose you a very small, very safe amount of virus or bacteria that have been weakened or killed. Your immune system then learns, because it keeps record, learns to recognize and attack the infection if you are exposed to later in life. So that's good actually. Types of vaccine. Always scientific research has led to the development of numerous types of vaccines that safely elicit or arouse immune response that protect against the infection. Also, researchers continue to investigate novel vaccines. Novel vaccines means new vaccines. Novel vaccine strategies for prevention of existing and emerging infectious disease. Always scientific research and researchers investigate new vaccines strategies for prevention of existing disease existing in the region or the area, and emerging infectious disease. Emerging infectious disease is a disease that newly appeared in the population. So, emerging infectious disease is a newly appeared disease, as well as advances in laboratory techniques and technologies have aided the development of new types of vaccines But we learn today the most common types of vaccines which currently available. There are a lot of vaccines, and anytime researchers and try to investigate novel vaccines. But this vaccine, below vaccines is the most common types of vaccines, like live attenuated vaccine, inactivated or killer antigen vaccines, subunit or purified antigens, toxoid or inactivated toxins. We will discuss in detail these 4 vaccines. First one, live attenuated vaccine. Live attenuated vaccine is a type of disease causing pathogens, viruses or bacteria that has been weakened in the laboratory, so that they lose their ability to cause disease. They lose their pathogenity, but able to multiply within the body and remain antigenic enough to induce a strong immune response. The aim is to get or induce a strong immune response. For example, a variola smallpox vaccine. So as you see, live attenuated vaccine is a weakened or killer form of the pathogens. For example, vaccines against measles. Live attenuated or killer vaccine include vaccine against measles, tuberculosis, BCG, oral polio vaccine, OPV, mumps, yellow fever, typhoid, and plague. So it's the strongest vaccine. This vaccine is the strongest vaccine actually, because this vaccine, the microbe or it's not or pathogens become weak instead of killing. The next one is the inactivated or killer antigen. During this time, organisms are killed or inactivated by chemicals or heat or radiation and can't capable of replication, what allows to induce immune response. You see, the previous vaccine was live attenuated vaccine. This vaccine able to multiply, but this one can't capable of replication, multiply, but allows to induce immune response. The difference. This vaccine is usually safe but less effective than live attenuated vaccine and requires multiple dose, multiple dose. So, because of this is a killed or inactivated and can't capable of replication. Example, vaccines against influenza virus, rabies virus, salmonella, typhoid for typhoid, Fibrio cholera, vaccine for cholera, hepatitis A, and etc. This vaccine is known as a subunit or purified antigen vaccines. Subunit vaccines produced from specific purified protein subunits of macromolecules derived from pathogens. They protect against thus having less risk of adverse reaction than whole vaccine. So subunit vaccines are composed of proteins. This subunit vaccine composed of proteins or glycoproteins. Actually, scientists cultivate a microbe microbacteria or virus in the laboratory. They always scientists cultivate a microbacteria or virus in the laboratory, then break them apart in the chemicals. They break with chemicals and collect important antigens. So that means subunit vaccine is only we collect the always subunit. I mean a part of the virus. Subunit vaccine is a part of virus or bacteria instead of entire chains. Only contains essential antigens. You know antigen and pathogen difference. Always pathogen is a small agent or microbe like bacteria or virus, but antigen is a protein found on the surface of the pathogen. That means antigens are the part of the pathogens that your body recognizes. Your body recognizes antigens, not pathogen. Every pathogen has a specific antigen. That means when your body recognizes antigens, your body produces antibodies to defend itself. So this subunit vaccine is derived from antigens or purified antigen from the pathogen. I think that's clear. For example, you see it contains only antigenic parts of the pathogens. Protein is found on the pathogen. Pathogens, if you remember, is a virus or bacteria which are necessary to provoke or elicit an immune response in the host. Vaccines for influenza, example, vaccines for influenza and hepatitis B. The next one, typhoid or inactivated toxins. Actually, this vaccine prepared from detoxifying or inactivated the exotoxins of some bacteria. The exotoxins is a toxin produced by bacteria, rendering from antigenic but not pathogenic. These vaccines are used when bacterial toxin is the main cause of illnesses, so that scientists have found that they can inactivate toxins because of bacterial toxin is the main cause of illness. So scientists try to get solution for this problem. So they found that they can inactivate toxins from bacteria by treating them with formalin or formaldehyde is a sterilized water, such as detoxifying. Detoxified toxin become inactivated, so it becomes toxins. When toxins become inactive or inactivate, becomes toxins. So it's difference toxin and toxins. Toxins were detoxified, become inactive, so it becomes toxins. For example, tetanus toxin, TT, diphtheria, bacterial vaccines. So tetanus is an infection caused by bacteria. This tetanus is an infection caused by bacteria called Clostridium tetani. Well, our next slide is an expanded program on immunization, or EPI. WHO launched a global immunization program known as Expanded Program on Immunization in May 1974. The objective and goal is to make vaccine available to all children through the world. The aim or objectives of the WHO is to make vaccine available worldwide or the children throughout the world. That's great. Protects all the children of the world against the 6 vaccine preventable diseases which can cause disability or mortality, namely diphtheria, pertussis, tetanus, polio, tuberculosis, measles by the year 2000. These are the objectives and the aim of the WHO for the launch of global immunization program. Well, objectives of EPI: eradication of polio to maintain polio-free states. This is the complication of polio, disability. Third, elimination of measles. Measles, the symptoms of measles. Okay. Elimination of neonatal tetanus. This young kid, neonatal tetanus. To maintain zero level of diphtheria. You see, diphtheria complication, this disease. Sadly, remember, OBV, these vaccines, all due to vaccines can be given at the same time, but different limbs or different sites. We can give at the same time, but different state of administration is different. For example, OBV, oral polio vaccine, state of administration like measles, right upper arm, side of administration is the right upper arm. Look, this one, DBT, diphtheria, pertussis, tetanus, these 3 vaccines. Lefty mid-thigh, outer lefty mid-thigh, for example, outer lefty mid-thigh. Side of administration of DBT is outer mid-thigh. Look, this one, BCG, for tuberculosis, lefty upper arm. Lefty upper arm. EG, for example, it's safe and effective to give BCG, DBT, OBV, and measles at the same time to 9 months old child who has never immunized but different limbs. Take care. Look this one carefully. Remember, giving DBT, these 3 vaccines, DBT in the buttock or gluteal regions. Take care, may injure the sciatic nerves and cause paralysis. Never give DBT in buttocks. Please take care if you are a healthcare provider. Always give a DBT in the outer mid-thigh, anterior lateral thigh, emphasis lateralis muscle, and never give DBT in buttocks. Those may injure sciatic nerves and causes paralysis. That's good actually. Look this one. Different ages, different doses, different time. Yeah. Dose per at 15 days. 15 days up to 1 month and a half. 1.5 months to 9 months child. 9 months up to 12 months or 1 year. 1 year up to 2 years. 2 years up to 5 years. So look this one carefully. OBV0. First oral polio vaccine. 0 means stands for first OBV in the first 15 days only. Give a child OBV0 in the first 15 days only. Actually, BCG. What about BCG? BCG. As early as possible in the first 12 months. As early as possible in the first 12 months. DBT, DBT, DBT1, DBT2, and DBT3. We respectively give the time, this time, 1.5 months or 6 weeks if DBT1, 2.5 or 10 weeks if DBT2, 3.5, 3 months and a half means 14 weeks if DBT3 months. Yeah, I mean wait at least 1 month after DBT1. When you given a DBT2, wait at least 1 month after giving DBT1. DBT2 to give DBT 1 month after DBT1. 1 month after DBT1, give DBT2. You see this? This is the difference between each one is 1 month. After DBT2, after 1 month DBT2, give DBT3. Well, OBV1, OBV2, OBV3, same as the DBT, just same. 1.5, 2.5, and 3.5 months. So this is the difference, same actually. There's no difference between these two vaccines, DBT 1, 2, 3, and OBV 1 and 2 and 3. So it's a difference. What about measles? At 9 months complete, as soon as possible after 9 months complete. So give measles vaccine when child 9 months complete child. But if a child does not receive a measles by first year or 9 months complete, give as soon as possible before 5 years. Before 5 years, give still you have a chance. So give measles vaccine before 5 years. But if measles is endemic in your region, do not wait until a child reach 9 months complete. You can give 6 months complete, 6 months, because measles is endemic. Actually, benefits of vaccination. See this slide. Vaccine saves life, as we saw as our previous slides. Vaccine saves lives. Parents do everything possible to make sure their children are healthy and protected from disease, which often no medical treatment. So our parents always pay a lot of efforts for caring their children actually. So vaccination is the best way to do that. Dear mother or dad, we know always your aim is to protect or caring your children. So vaccination is the best way to do that. Vaccines prevent disease. This disease mostly can cause permanent disability or even death, as we saw on previous slides. Many vaccine preventable diseases have no effective treatment actually. So you see, these vaccines prevent these diseases that has no effective treatment. So try to give vaccination for your children actually. This next slide, benefits of vaccination. Vaccination lifelong protection after profiles of single dose or administration of vaccines gives your child lifelong protection. Vaccination is the safe and effective, not causing harm. Vaccine always and effective. Because of all vaccines undergo long and careful review by scientists, doctors, and governments to make sure they are safe. You see, always scientists and governments, doctors take care for production of vaccines. You know, each vaccine production takes a lot of time, years, because they ensure their safety. It's not easy to produce a vaccine immediately. It takes years or decades because they consider safety. Well, see our last slides. Vaccine recommendations towards vaccine. Many researchers indicate that most adults, their perception about vaccine is different. Parents' perception about vaccine always different. So we need to make logical understanding about the benefits of vaccine through the recipients and parents here, using 5 abbreviation words. Make logical understanding about benefits of vaccine through using 5 abbreviation words. What is the 5 abbreviation words? Look this: share, SHARE, share. So we will take each letter. First the S. S stands for share. The tailored reasons why recommended vaccine is right for the recipient, given his or her age, healthy status, lifestyle, occupation, and other risk factors. So, put on the table tailored reasons why the vaccine is right for the recipient. Make a logical understanding. The next word is the H. H stands for highlights. Highlights positive experience with the vaccine, personal or your practice as appropriate, to reinforce the benefits and strengthen confidence in vaccination. If you give a strength confidence, positive experience towards with the vaccine, that time recipients will trust you and make his confidence in vaccine and reinforce the benefits. That's H. What about A? A stands for address. Address patient questions. Patient questions and any concerns about vaccine. Always, as you see our previous slide, parents and recipients have different perception about vaccine. So you have to consider their questions and concerns. Include side effects, safety, and vaccine effectiveness in plain and understandable language. Take care in plain, in clear, and understandable language. It's very important to answer their concerns and questions. The next is R. R stands for remind. Remind recipients that have vaccines, protect them and their loved ones from the many common and serious diseases, from the many preventable diseases that have no currently medical treatment. So you have to remind recipients benefits of vaccination. Vaccine prevents diseases that mostly have no medical treatment. Last word is E. E stands for explain. Explain clearly the potential cost of getting disease. Potential cost of getting disease, including serious health effects, time lost, such as missing work or family obligations, and the financial cost. If a child becomes sick, you will visit a health center, and that time, after its financial cost, mean time lost. Maybe you will miss your work or family obligation. Also, you will experience like financial cost. You will pay money to cure your loved ones. So always vaccines prevent a lot of these problems. Actually, that's all for today. You see this one. So that's all for today until our next session. Especially gratitude goes to our special friends, those subscribed our channel. You know, your subscription is our motivation. See you soon until our next session. Bye bye for now.